All right. I'm going to watercolor this little bear, and I have already collaged paper on there and put some dried grunge pastes up here. Let everybody kind of get in. Get stuff ready. All right, I'm going to start with the tree here. And I know I want to use some blues in kind of a teal color, and along with kind of a golden metallic, kind of an ochre color. Hey, Shauna. All right. So I'm going to start with a darker blue on one side. And then I think I'm going to add some gray to that. And it's kind of a metallic gray. And I'm going to let that kind of work its way from the edge over. All right, and then I'm going to take a teal color. Yeah, I think it'll be cute. I like the papers that I got chosen when I couldn't sleep the other night. Hi, CB. All right. Yeah, let's get a little bit of teal. And then I'm going to get kind of a more of a blue teal that I'm going to add to that. Yeah, that's what and I want to put some water on a couple of these places. Let's kind of put that on this edge. And I want that to kind of be able to go in there. Okay. Now I am going to go to a golden color. And I've got a little bit of that green still in my brush in the water, but I don't even care because I think I'll like that combo. We'll make it more of a greenish gold. And I'm going to let that kind of go in and puddle in areas. It's not dark enough, so I'm going to go into these yellow ochre colors. Hi, Dot. Okay. All right. And then I think add some more of that darker blue in a couple of areas. Put those blues up. Okay. And I want to add some gray tones in there, I think. In a few places. Okay. Hey, Lori. And then let's kind of soften those lines and let them kind of bleed out. All right. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Joan. All right. So I think I need to go to some brown. And I think I'm going to switch to a round brush. And I'm going to go with a fairly dark brown. I want that to be fairly wet. I'm trying to get that, like the peeling bark. I do like how this, with the splatters, I'm going to leave that alone, I think. And I think I'm going to do that splatter again in areas and let it kind of bleed and do its thing. All right, let's dry that because I think I'm happy with the tree where it's at. right now. Hi, Killian, and hi, Helen. Hi, Kimberly. Okay. I'm going to draw that back a little bit even. All right. Yeah, I'm pleased with the bark because you can still see the papers. And I like that combination of the gray and the teal with the brown. All right, our little friend here is going to be a girl. So she's going to be like pinks and golds. And I'm going to start by using a purple with a little magenta and put in some shadow areas that I want to kind of, I'll let fade out here in a minute. And here. And I think up on the ears and this one side. I'm trying 2 cups for my water, and it's really hard to go to a rinse cup and then keep one more clean. Okay, now I want to go with a more magenta color and a little bit of an orchid kind of color, more of a okay. Kind of lighten that in a few places. Okay. Now I'm going to add to that same color, I'm going to add some metallic gold. Mixed in with that pink. I'm going to go with a brighter metallic too. There's a pink metallic. Yeah, that's what it needed. It needed the pink metallic mixed in. Okay. I'm pretty pleased with him so far. Okay, now I'm going to come in with a little bit of a darker metallic that's kind of a copper. Oh, wait a minute. I got on the tree. All right, and then I think I'm going to come back in with a little heavier gold in here. Maybe even a little copper in here. All right, I'm going to come up. More copper on the ear. Now, the paper napkin's not going to absorb it as much because the gel medium. But it'll get the shimmer. Okay, I'm going to come back in with this celestial gold. And I'm going to come in with some purple metallic and float some of that in. In places. Oh, but I want this pink. I don't want this to take over too much. Thanks, Joan. All right, so I think we need to come in with a heavier gold in here again. And then maybe let the pink. And then the pink again. Some gold and some pink down on the paw. Just told, hey, I'm just so excited to see Mr. Travis online again. We've missed him. Soften that in there. I think I'm pretty happy with the bear. All right, so let's dry him. Get him dry. I keep saying him, but it's actually a she. Hi, Cam. Okay, and this needs just a little bit. This is actually not white. Let's go in with just a little. I guess I need to come in with the metallics, maybe. Okay. Oh, and this needs a little pink over here too. And maybe a little gold in there. That's better. Okay, let's see. I will tell you, speaking of napkins, I need to do a little, I can see some of it popping up here on the paper. I'm going to stick a little gel medium in a couple places just to secure that on the napkin where it may not have gotten enough glue. This paper's wanting to come up. Over here just in case. I think down here it was glued really well. Okay, let's dry that real quick. Okay, speaking of napkins, I have a project and I have already dug through my napkin stash and I couldn't find any. I'm looking for napkins with lilies. I don't care what color lilies. I just don't have any with a true lily on it. I'm doing this for my niece. I'm doing this project for my niece, and this is her dog, Lily. And I want to put napkins that are lilies in the background and like have pink, pale pink. So I was looking for either white lilies or yellow lilies. I don't even care if they're kind of the tiger lilies is even fine. But I wanted to put some lilies, and I can't find any lily napkins. So if any of you I was thinking more like a calla lily or an Easter lily or a tiger lily is what I was really looking for. Lily of the Valley would also be good. No, I could paint one on there. I just wanted to do a mixed media background. I know I could paint lilies on there or draw lilies on there. I was just trying to do a mixed media and then float the pink glaze around the napkins for the texture. So if anybody has one and they want to do like, I'll swap, I'll trade you out something or swap you something, send me a PM if you find some and we'll do some little trade or something. I'm going to look at Tuesday morning too. I just haven't had a chance to go. All right, let me dry that glue medium. And I also want to say hi to Miss Brenda if you're watching. That's my niece's neighbor across the street. And her mom told me that she watches sometimes. And if you're watching this recording, Brenda, you need to come join us on a live and chat with us. All right. So I already cut a mask out for him because I know I want to use the delusions on this part. I'm also going to take some Post-it notes, which will help put the mask, hold the mask down, but also protect my tree. Yeah, if anybody finds them, I'm guessing I need about 3, probably, would do it. Okay. I think that'll work. So what I want to do is I was really liked Jen's background last night. So I want to spray the blue and then I'm going to take white gesso and go over the grunge paste. All right. And then I'm also going to, I'm tilting it. I'm also going to blot because I don't want it as dark as that is. Let me get the blue delusions cleaned up. And hopefully our mask protected our bear. All right, let's get, I'm going to get a little bit of the delusions on the table. And I'm going to get a little bit on my brush. So I can get those spots. See, he got on the bear a little bit. Darn it. Let me see if I can lift it. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go with that. I'm going to let that bleed just a little bit right there. and then come back in a minute. You can see where the gel medium was on the ear. And I'll add the copper and the purple back in there and darken that back, and it'll look more shadowed. So I'm just not going to let that stress me out. Okay. It probably would have been better to have the mask taped down. It was probably flapping and I'm sure the spray even went through the paper. Now let's get rid of all that blue mess. Yeah, Tam, if you click on anybody who's streaming, if you don't subscribe to their channel and you click on their names, you can go to their channel and subscribe and hit the bell really easy without losing the stream that you're in. Okay, so let's go back to the purple. We'll put some purple in there. And we'll go back to that copper. And we'll put the copper back in there. Okay, let me dry that real quick and I'm going to add a little more. Yeah. No, these are not Fine-Tech. These are the Prima Metallics. And I will tell you, I like them a whole lot more than they're shimmering. These metallics are really good for the price. They have another set that I need to get, a new set of 12 that is more pastels. I have these Fine-Tech sets. I have this one here, which I don't use very often because I don't care for it. I don't think that they're very pigmented. And then I have this set, which I don't dislike. But again, I haven't used them a whole lot because I just found the blue ones were really not as bright as I thought that they would be. They're good mid-tone metallics. So those are the two sets, and these are about $7 each. And this was maybe between 7 and 12. I don't really remember, but I know there's a new set of these. Okay, now let's get rid of this Delusion spray. And I'm going to get rid of my watercolor brushes so I don't grab them by accident. And let's get, I do need to fix this little piece of paper on the tree too. Okay. But I'm done watercoloring, so let's add some. I'm not going to use the white gesso because I don't like my white gesso. I'm just going to take some opaque white paint and a little brush. Thanks, Sherry. Thanks for stopping by. All right. And I'm going to add some white to these dots, which won't stay white, as we know. Because the delusions will keep coming up. I'm trying to get them to come up because it'll come up lighter. And I'm going to use a baby wipe here in a minute too, I think, to soften it. And then the last step that I think I'll do is add some metallic blue from this set on the top. And this is Paper Artsy Grunge paste that I put on and let dry. Bye, Sophia. Thanks for hanging out. What's our status on Ange? Is she Feeling any better since you laid down and took some medicine? I thought I saw Lori earlier. I know Lori was going to talk to her later. She went back to sleep. Good. That's what she needs. I mean, I don't think that it's a lack of sleep that caused her headache necessarily. But when you have that kind of headache, the best thing to do is just take that medicine and crash. Because sometimes that's the only thing you can do. I used to get them a whole lot until I had my hysterectomy. And I get them occasionally still, but not as often. Okay, I'm just going to add some more white just to lighten it. Oh, I missed one here. And then I'm going to hit it with the baby wipe here in a minute. I just want to get a little bit more background difference. Okay. Clean up that paint. Clean up that brush a little bit. Okay. So now, do I want to float some of this on there? I'm not sure it's metallic enough. Or I'm thinking magicals. Got Bachelor Button Blue and Hydrangea Blue. Yeah. Okay. And again, I'm not going to use my watercolor brush with the magicals. I'm just going to use a little toss away that I really haven't used with acrylic paints either. All right, I'm going to get my X-Acto knife or the tweezers. And I'm just going to do a small amount. Both of these have shimmer. Because that's just how I roll. I don't buy the ones that are flats. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of water on the table. I'm going to work into there. All right, and I think I want to put a paper towel. I'm going to tilt it. I think, yeah, so see if you could see. Just let it run. In places here. It's another piece of paper I need to glue down there. Sometimes all the water will start lifting it up. Okay, I'm gonna kind of blot. And I'm gonna let some more of this run around the grunge paste. Because it won't go on top of it. And darken it. And make sure that there's plenty of shimmer. Which you won't be able to see on camera most likely. You might if I rock it enough. I'm gonna make sure there's a little bit of shimmer on those. I have to say, the grunge paste, when it gets real wet, it kind of reactivates. Because it's like paper. It's like wet paper. Trying to get it darker right in around the bear. Okay. Let's get rid of that. And let's hit that with the dryer. Yeah, if you're going to work, I would say if you're going to work with the watercolor, it's probably better to use a paste, a different than grunge paste. I think the grunge paste probably doesn't break down with the acrylics as bad as if you just, but if you're going to flood it with a lot of water, I notice that they want to get mushy. Okay. We need to touch up. I need a few more places that it needs glue. A few paper places I've seen trying to come up. And I'm going to put just a little bit of glue right here along where the paper meets the bear. But not so much that I'm like disturbing the watercolor. Okay. Come on. Now, where's Dot? Dot, did you notice I put the brown in on the eyes early for you? Right. All right, I'm gonna put some. And okay, I'm gonna use just like a 01. Yeah, brush. Flood a little pink back in there. Soften that. Yep, I'm submitting this one to Prima. This will be my last one to submit because the deadline is tomorrow. Now on this one, I have lost. I'm just going to do this. Let's just. Okay, the question is, do we want to do the eyelashes? There's some really good watercolor submissions. It depends a lot of it what they want. So there's the eye. Okay. So, do we want eyelashes? Like small, delicate is what I'm thinking. Well, I'm not, I may be too out of the box for them. I mean, they may be looking for, yeah, I'm going to start real small. I'm going to start with like a 0-1. They might be looking for a more traditional watercolor. Okay. Okay, I got to make it just a little bit. We'll keep it just at that. And I don't know how they're going to pick. They might pick by likes. Okay. Okay. I think that that's okay. I don't like the under lashes as well. I need to pull a few out. All right, now we need her little nose. So I need to. I'm going to go with a brown pit and blend. There's gel medium on top of this napkin, so that will let me slide it and blend it. Okay, and then let's go with like an 8. Okay, and let me take the brush. Let's see if I can. I think I would need to go with a Faber-Castell. Blend those kind of. blot it. Okay, now I'll come back in. Feel like she's frowning. Let's try. Okay. I just took a little pink. To kind of blend. Because I need to define her muzzle, but I don't really want it to be hard. Then I'm going to come in with this same pink. Give some kind of fur texture. I'm going to put a little more copper right in here. Okay. That just gives a little definition to some of those lines. I wanted to just put a little more. I don't know if you can see. If I rock it, you can see there's shimmer. Like, she's big time shimmery. Can't say that this mica here is real subtle. And this shimmer here is real subtle. So it makes her definitely. Who has a new website, Dot? I have a website, but I'm bad about not updating it because I update the Etsy. I need to go in and do Society 6 too. Okay. Do we think the tree needs anything, or should we just leave it alone? It's not metallic. Leave it? Okay, that's what I thought too. All righty, so let's get the surface protected real quick. And we'll get a mat. And take a picture real fast. Without a mat. And I know I want her to go in the mat. Like that, I think. The arm needs to be clearer. Okay, well, we can. Look at. Let's go in with a pit pin. And really kind of darken that paw. Actually, I think there should be a line that comes out here. And she needs some claws, yeah. I think I'm not sure I want her in a mat either, to be honest. I think I miss this too much when she's in a mat. So I don't think I'm going to mat her. Because she could just go in a 9x12 frame. Well, you would need to get a 9 by 12 opening, which would be like a 16 by 20. Okay, and these are going to be white for right now. And there's 5 on them. Okay. Let's let that dry. I think we should, I'm going to put a little bit of this around where they're going to be and pull back. They're not going to be white. Okay. And then I think we should just make them kind of a brownish color. And then a little darker brown, maybe even. Okay, so that gives an illusion. I don't think so, Dot, because I don't think she's feeling very well. I think she took her medicine for the migraine and went back to sleep. Okay. I need to sign it too. Well, I don't know if the person's is gonna mat it, so I'm gonna sign it up here. Okay, we do that D. Okay. All right. think now, do we think she's done? I need to flip some color right back there. But I think it needed, in fact, it may need a little more. I don't know why. Sometimes it holds a message. Okay. Is that better? See me? I think the arm is more defined. I guess when I take a picture of it, I'll take a picture with this to post it. I'll post it like that. The picture for the, let me sneak in another picture real quick. All right. Because most of their posts for Prima, they'll have the pans in the picture. Yeah, you can see the arm now, right? I think I'm done. And the next bear that I do will be for Kathy Berg's new grandson. But she doesn't want the tree. She didn't want a tree. She didn't. So I found one without just a face without a tree. I'm not going to do another one tonight, Shauna. All right, let's see what we can do if you want is we can work on Summer Lily. She's not watercolor. She's going to be colored pencil. So we can work on adding the paint, more art. We can add the underpainting to her. I need Deco Arts Traditions out. Put some white paint with some raw sienna on my, and a little bit of brown matter, and a little turquoise. And then I think I also want a light gray. Just a second. This is value number 8. All right, and let's find a couple cruddy old brushes to use. That's a pretty watery mix I have right there. What are you prepping for tomorrow? Where's my... Oh, wants me to update something constantly. And I'll go over all of this with colored pencil. Which we all learned from Miss Dee Dee Willingham. So those of you who perhaps are watching that don't watch Dee Dee's channel, it's Inkwell. And she is fabulous. Oh my. Where is our fearless leader, Eileen? Is she here? She might be out spending the big bucks. And I'm not worried about true colors right now. Here, I'm gonna flip that real quick. I must be watching Cops again. Oh, you're welcome, Tam. I'm glad you stopped in. He's going to be a colored pencil, Shauna. Now I want to use the napkin in the background and put magicals in pink to have a real soft pink, but I want to do him in colored pencil. So I like to work on the paint. And use it kind of as an undercoat for the fur. So like where all this white is, I'm not going to use white. I'm going to use the grays. Then when I come in with the white, it'll show up. Okay. So I'm just trying to keep some of the color variations. I think I'll add some white in there too. Here, in there to blend. Trying to keep some of that putty color in there. Okay. Knock some of that down a little bit. Oh, I'm just trying to follow the photograph. Where the light is the brightest. I think I want to get some. Painterly strokes in there too. Put a little bit of a wash on that. Just take some of that pink down. I think. Okay, then we want to put her tag is a silver. Okay. And this is like a gold bell that she wears. And her collar, I'm changing. I think I did it. To a turquoise, because I think it will just go with her room better. A tiger or a big cat? Let's go in. So I think I'm going to make this a gray. In some places. All right, and then I'm going to do a little turquoise with the white. Okay. And then I'm going to hit a couple places with the dark turquoise. And then I think I'm going to take a little more white. And hit some spots with the okay. Thank you, CB. And then this is her little tag here is a blue. Now I may pop a paper in there that I cut just to make it different, to give it a little pattern. I haven't decided. Okay, now let's get, I think I need a little darker gray real quick. Get one value up. Okay, so Let's get that and soften that just a little bit. Pull some of that back. Okay. Let's hit that little bit of darker gray again. Okay, and then on a okay. Okay, Lori, I'll look at that as soon as we get done. I have to say, I'm actually really liking, I mean, this is not true coloration of Lily, but I'm liking I mean, it could be done and not, well, it's too pink down here. Still needs kind of a wash just to knock that down. Okay, now I'm just. Okay. I think I'm done. Need to try to clean up that little area right there. There and there. If I can. Okay, I'm done with him. Super pleased with him. Like, he could almost be done if he were a gray dog, you know, like. All right, let me get rid of the paint that I've got over here. And I think I'm going to put a pale pink metallic background. And then we'll add the napkin over that, and I'll add the magicals over that. I'm just trying to get the paint off my mat. Okay. Let's go I want a shell pink in the end. So I'm leaning towards copper. Maybe a little bit of berry. And maybe a gold. Like let's try to make a rose gold that we like. So this is Warren Penny. I had to get a skin to. All right. Warren Penny. Not a lot of this berry. I just want to give a little pink to it. And then some gold. That may not even be right. It should have been maybe silver. Let's see what we get here. Okay. Got a pretty color. It's 2 copper still. So let's add white pearl, or do we want to add silver? Not silver sage. That's got a green. Shimmering silver. Let's try. Okay, that's a lot of silver paint, but it's really watery. It's a pretty color. It's a little on the mauve side. Need to go more pink. That was clear. Just going to shot of red to it. Oh, that did it. That made it go more of a pinky color. Still a little mauve, but it's an undercoat. Let's go ahead and, like I said, this is not the final coat for the background. I'm just going to put some different directional marks because sometimes this metallic does show. Yeah, it's not a rose gold. It's more of a soft mauve color, kind of a purplish gray. I actually really like it with the undercoating. Okay, and I'm to tell you right now, I got a lot of it on the table. Make sure that there's no holidays and thin spots. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a small cup with a. What I'm going to do is get some paper. Just some white paper. And a random stencil. And a sponge. Actually, I'm just going to use the brush. Heavily sponge it. And I'll use this in collage some point. be pretty in a watercolor with some like gold or something in the white spaces flooded on it. And I'm not worried about if it goes underneath or bleeds, because this is just going to be torn up and used in collage and often gets covered. But this way the paint won't go to a complete waste. That silver poured out on me, so I got way more silver than I needed. So, like I said, I'll just do that. On this one, I'm not even going to mess with the stencil. I'm just going to paint it and I'll jelly print on it later. Oh. All right. All right, that'll work. And those papers can be put away. And like I said, it can be used. I gotta clean all this up or it drives me nuts. All right, so that is the underpainting for that. Like I said, I really like it, just like it is. To be honest with you. I'll put that. Yeah, Lily's a good pup. And I think what I want to do, loving it, is I think I want to take a picture. So I think I want to add a little highlight. It's not done, but I think I want to add just a little highlight. And take a picture, and I may use her on Society 6 the way she is, and then finish her with colored pencil and get a 2-for-1. That is not a rose gold. It is a combination of gold, berry, silver, white pearl, worn penny copper. 5 different dazzling metallics. So it turned out to be a mauve, kind of a purplish gray, which picks up the grays in the dog. So this is just an underpainting, and then what I'll end up doing, like I said, I think I'm just going to take a picture of it the way it is because I really like it. And I can use that in Society 6. And then I'll finish her tomorrow probably. With colored pencil. And then I'll have to wait on the background. I might not add lilies to the background. Maybe it's too much. So I am real pleased with how she's turned out so far. And I think Eleni will be. I am going to come back with a little bit of white paint right there. Where I got a little over. Oh, there we go. So, and then there's the original photo, or copy of the photo. She put it on Pinterest that I'm working from. So we'll add colored pencil to it. Like I said, I'll probably stream tomorrow. I don't know what time at all. I mean, it will not be early in the morning. I know that. We'll see if Ange is going to stream. Ange should go get her mail from me. It finally got in her box, but then, of course, you know, she couldn't get to the post office. Too bad she was feeling bad because she could have stopped by there on the way home, leaving work early, but then feeling bad. You're just lucky you can drive home when you have that kind of headache. So Lori said she woke up and she was kind of groggy and she was going to go back to sleep. You think Bailey's influenced by CB? CB's going to blame it on her hubby. All right, guys, that is it for me. So we got 2 projects done. The last one for Prima, and then this is we were in the shimmery pink mood, weren't we? Your son. I knew you were going to blame it on somebody, CB. Yeah, Bren, this is the bear we did earlier with watercolor. Well, I collaged it first, and then I did watercolor. So that'll be my last Prima. But it's on the stream. All right, guys. I will talk to you tomorrow.